Hi guys, factors to consider when building your A-frame. The first factor that you should consider, or rather ask yourself, is what do you want? Guys, you as the client and you as the house owner, the potential house owner, you're the one who owns the vision, okay? It's not the architect, it's not the designer, it's not your neighbor. You are the owner of the vision. You're the one who owns an A-frame. You're the one who's going to invest your money in building the A-frame. So bring your personality, bring your needs and your dream into, fruition. Okay, so ask yourself, what do you want? What are my immediate needs? Okay, do I want like a 1-bedroom house? Do I want a 2-bedroom house? Would I prefer a bungalow? Would I prefer a maisonette? That is like, should it have like the ground floor and then another floor, probably the attic floor? Like what exactly, what are your needs? What will fulfill your needs? Okay, also consider the type of lifestyle that you live or you intend to live. For example, if you're building your A-frame for, let's say, a family, it's going to be a little bit different from an A-frame that has been built with a vacation place in mind. You get what I'm saying? For example, if it's, let's say, a family place, let's say you have kids, then I'm not going to maybe design an A-frame that is, is not child friendly per se. For example, like the attic floor, I'll put, let's say, a longer wall. I can't leave it just open because kids can fall down to the ground floor. Or perhaps I'll have to put some privacy in a room. I can't go like open plan bedrooms, like you have your living room there, you have your bedroom over there. You'll consider that there are kids running around. So guys, what do you want? Okay, what type of A-frame do you want? Like for example, and let me just show you an example of how this can affect your decision. When designing my A-frame, when doing my A-frame, I started it as a passion project. I was excited about A-frames. I was excited about alternative construction methods. Like I wanted to build with tires, I wanted to build with hay, I wanted to build with mud. And guys, I'd finally gotten myself some land and some bit of resources. So I knew it was a passion fun project. Okay, I was not even thinking that it's going to be a family place, it's going to be a vacation place. It was a place for me to experiment with all types of building construction that are alternative, different construction methods. Because I feel we as Kenyans, we are so used to these common methods of construction, and sometimes it demoralizes some of us, because by the time you build, you think of building an A-frame, your house, you're like, oh my goodness, lazima ninunue mawe, sijui mawe ni pesa ngapi, simiti sijui ni pesa ngapi. You get those things, they kind of constrain you, they kind of make you think like building this house is such a big deal, like you have to have like millions of money stacked up somewhere. So I actually wanted to prove to people that no, what do you have around you that you can use for building? For example, me, I used mud from my place. I used straw, that is hay. I used tires that I was getting for 30 bob. So I cut a lot of costs. Guys, if you haven't seen my A-frame, I've done like how I built it. So if you're interested, check that video out. And anyway, I digress. Back to the point. So me, I built my A-frame for me. And then it quickly dawned on me that, okay, Patricia, soon you're going to have a family. You're going to have a kid running around. And actually, guys, when I was pregnant, that is when I decided to add an extra space to the A-frame, because it was purely for me. I'd not built it with a safety factor in place. But once I got pregnant, okay, my mom needed to visit me. So I was like, oh my goodness, where is going? Oh, my mom, there's no way my mom is going to the attic, because I used to sleep on the attic level, okay, the first floor, the stairs, and then you go to the first floor. That's where I used to sleep. But once my mom, when my mom was coming, I was like, something is not adding up. Okay, I don't want my mom to sleep in the living room. First of all, I don't even think I had put up the door. Okay, so long story short, I ended up extending my A-frame, guys, to have 2 extra rooms, okay, for a guest room, to have like a bigger attic. So again, that's what I'm telling you. What are your immediate needs? Again, what type of finishes do you want? Do you want a rustic looking A-frame, or do you want like a very modern gisty A-frame? Okay, all those factors will come into play when designing and when building your A-frame. Okay, point to remember, it's your A-frame, not someone else's. Okay, bring your personality into the A-frame. Let someone walk into the house and be like, oh my goodness, this is so you. Because I don't think there is anything as silly as building an A-frame, which is very, very, very experimental, fun, and then you just have a boring A-frame that does not even speak up. You know, like, let your house match with your personality. Someone to look at your house and like, you know what, this house is so you. Okay, so point number 2 is, what is your budget? Uko na pesa ngapi? Okay, and guys, don't fall into the trap of thinking that you need millions of money to build your A-frame, to build your house. Okay, that is what stops a number of people from actually actualizing their dream, because they get into their head so much, like, sijui nahitaji nini. If you're that type of person, you've come to the right place. Me, I'm a believer. Namaste. I'm a believer that anything is possible with whatever resources you have. So guys, remember, me, my A-frame, I had a budget of 80,000 shillings. I'm not lying. In fact, I told a friend of mine, like, you know what, I'm going to build a house with 80,000 shillings. Akanichekelea, is like, you know what, Patricia, go ahead. Once you do it, then I'm giving you a job to do an A-frame, a similar A-frame for me. And I was like, game on. Anyway, long story short, I'll explain how I ended up building the house. I don't want to digress. So what is your budget? I advise you people to work backwards. Okay, so assuming you have 250,000, like a client, or like, actually she's not a client, it's a subscriber in this channel, who told me like she has a budget of 250,000. Of course, she was scared. She's like, oh my goodness, I don't want to sound stupid. I only have 250,000 and I want an A-frame. I was like, you know, girl, you've come to the right person. Let me advise you, use what you have. Okay, so like for her, let me give an example. For 250, you think, like, you think around, like, where can I cut cost? So is it the foundation level? Is it the finishes? Is it the mabati? Okay, so guys, what is your budget? So if you're approaching someone like me who designs A-frames for a living, and of course other stuff, that is what I'm going to ask you, and then I work around that. Because if you have like millions of money stacked up somewhere, of course you're going to have like the gistiest A-frame you can have. Okay, but if let's say you have 70k like I had, we'll make it work. Okay, we'll have like a small place, like a small cottage that you can live. Okay, you don't even have to chimba the foundation. We'll do like, you can put stamps, zile miti, unaona, logs, you put stamps hapo hivyo as columns, and then you have like your house on top. Guys, as long as you have land, any budget is possible. Okay, and of course have an open mind and have an open minded designer and be willing to experiment. Okay, that is the whole point of this channel and me. Like, I like testing the limits. I like making the impossible possible. Okay, as I told you guys, I had a budget of 80,000 and I actually ended up building a house that, of course, the value was higher, and it's such an interesting story. In fact, I'll do a story on how I afforded to build my A-frame with around 100,000 shillings, and now it's valued to, like, let's say $1 million plus, and I didn't have any money. Okay, that's a story for another day, guys. If you're interested in the story, please comment down below. Tell me you want to know how to own land in Kenya, how to build a house in Kenya with absolutely no money, or with a budget of like 100 shillings and less. Because guys, I did it. I made it happen. I had no job. I'm not lying, I kid you not. I had no clients, because some of you will say, oh, you had money. I had no sponsor. For those of you who think you have to have someone sponsor, I had no sponsor. I had no I had no job. I had no income. I only had like 80,000 shillings. In fact, I don't even think I had all of it. But I managed to buy land. When I was buying land, I only had 10,000 shillings. Guys, I kid you not. Anything is possible. And again, I digress because I'm so passionate about this. If you'd like to hear this story, comment down below and like this video, and guys, subscribe. for more content like this. So anywho, what's your budget? Know that will help the designer to know the type of A-frame and the type of spaces you want. Because of course, if you have like 80,000, you can only do like a room or like a studio, as opposed to if you had like a lot of money, then we can squeeze in more bedrooms, more, you get what I'm saying. So anywho, once you have those two factors in place, like knowing what you need, knowing your budget, and then you get plans and preliminary approval. Okay, if you live in outskirts of town, you don't really need to get Kanjo or the county to approve your drawings, well and good. But if you're in town, even if you're doing an A-frame, guys, you still need to have the plans approved. And guys, something I realized when taking some of the plans are done to the Kanjo, those guys have no idea. Most of them, they have no idea. Like, you have to explain to them like this type of house is like this. So when they are calculating the floor area, they are not supposed to be calculating like the regular houses. Like, it will save you a lot of money. That is just a tip. Explain to them like, okay, this roof is the wall. Okay, like I'm building this floor, but the top is like this. Like, you have to actually drill into them that you're not building a kawaida house. Okay, and it will save you some cost. So anywho, get plans, approach somebody. It helps. You can just go ahead and assume an A-frame is just, the A is just a triangle, so anyone can build it. You could be right, you could be wrong. If you want something well thought out, I would advise you get an A-frame designer. It doesn't have to be me. You can consult, perhaps visit A-frames that have been designed. Because guys, once you start building it, ndio utaona why you needed that help with the design. For example, like for the height of the house, there are standards for the. Anyway, long story short, if you're able to get like a simple plan and get a plan, get someone to design for you. Guys, I design A-frames for a living, just so you know. And I'm here and I can be contacted, and I'm flexible before I become famous, and then you'll not be able to afford me. Anywho, and get the approvals. Ukiwa Kishagi, if you're in the local places, then you are safe. Okay, so now that we've done that, you know what you need. You have a budget in mind. You've got the approval. So what do? You prioritize function over form. A-frames. I don't know, you tell me, but most people who build A-frames are dreamers. Okay, they are these people who are fascinated by the world. They want to explore the limits, so they want a beautiful, like, it's not very many people who are so comfortable living in A-frames. So they have some I don't know, it's a loose wire ama nini. So again, and then they appreciate perhaps different things, the creativity, the beauty. So what I'm trying to say, punguza tu hiyo kidogo. First of all, think function. Okay, like the rooms, they need to be comfortable. The kitchen, it needs to be spacious. The bedrooms need to be habitable. The washroom, unafaa ukiingia, once you get inside the washroom, umeketi tu, and you know what I'm saying, like, si uko hivi, ama when you're showering, you get, there are those things to consider. So that is function part. So function, like, it needs to make sense. It needs to be logical. Okay? Once you have done that, then utaanza tu madoido, sijui umeweka roof pale, sijui umefanya nini pale. Okay? Function first, and then form. Form ndio hiyo urembo. Okay? Okay, guys. So we are on to our 5th point. Get an experienced builder. Guys. I cannot stress this much. Wewe, don't just get, sijui umeambiwa kampeta wa jirani, sijui I know this and this person. No. Get someone who is experienced, and when you're doing your A-frame, don't just go for any carpenter. Guys, I did that and I paid a heavy price. Okay? Get a roofing builder to do your A-frame. Get a roofing carpenter. Get that. Roofing carpenter. See, carpenter wa general. Avoid those tufundis who can do everything. Oh, sijui mimi, I can koroga the floor. Oh, sijui mimi, I can neza kuwekea gypsum. Oh, mi weka simiti. Oh, mi weka sijui stima. sijui ama plumber, avoid those people at all costs, okay? Avoid them. Just go for that one person mwenye specialize. I do roofs. Otherwise, guys, I put up my A's. Okay, my A's is the roof, the rafters, I put them up for like a week, and then this fundi is like, trust the process madam, utaona venye tunakuja, hii kazi tumefanya sana. Unfortunately alikuwa rufu wa kila kitu, and again it was cheap. Guys, something else, cheap is expensive. You'd rather get a fundi who will pay 2,000 per day but anajua kitu anafanya, as opposed to these fundis who will charge you 800 ama pesa yenye tu ile, those fundi wa hatutakosana bei, you know, and then akumes. Because guys, I did my A's for like a week plus. I was paying him, nalipa mtu wa mkono, and unfortunately at some point nilikuja niko, Patricia, between like, see, like, what is not happening. Anyway, I took everything down, okay? Kwa avoid hiyo makosa, guys, get an experienced builder if possible. Look at kazi amefanya before. I hope like he should be highly recommended if possible. Anyway, I digress. Get an experienced builder. And something else, if you're able to retain that builder paka the last stages, avoid sijui fundi huyu amekuja nini kesho it's a different fundi. It will save you a lot of money, okay? It will save you a lot of money, it will save you a lot of headaches, because what these fundis do is, maybe, anyway, the fundi comes, assuming you're paying him even 2,000, and you live maybe mahali mbali, a bit far from where he stays, so see, he's commuting daily, and then maybe a neighbor calls him, he's like, oh, I have this job, and this good fundis, okay, these guys are complicated, and then they are really sought after, so maybe he gets another job like just close to him, so he'll not be using fare nini, so he'll just abscond his duties, like achana na project yako and do his own project. Now you utaendelea kusafa, okay? So of course you'll call someone else, and then this is a kawaida thing with fundis. The fundi will come, the second fundi will come and criticize what the first fundi did, and then once you criticize what the first fundi did, sijui ataanza kutoa nini, sijui kurekebisha. It'll take like 2 or 3 days criticizing and undoing what the first fundi had done. So again, you're losing time, you're losing resources, and guys, it's a headache. So what you do to avoid this, because people are people, hapa ndio psychology comes into place. If you can have the fundi staying kwa hiyo site, okay, provide him with food, make him as comfortable as possible. In fact, kata unaweza hama, if you're staying there, you ham out and leave him there, okay? Give him food, give him, I don't know, accommodation, give him like freedom, but don't let go of a good food. You'll regret, because hey, I suffered, but here we are, At least we can tell the story, you know. And guys, I've done the video of me taking down the A-frames. It wasn't something good. Let me go to the next point, is make it weather tight, okay? Weather tight, this means if you're doing your A-frame, remember kuna the weather you kuja ikifluctuate, and A-frames, assuming you're doing your A's, your rafters, hizo mambao zenye zimekuja, and then unaekelea mabati juu with wood, hutumii steel. If you're doing steel, good for you, but again, steel can rust. Anyway, if you're doing wood, what happens, weather ikifluctuate, wood inawapwap, okay? So first of all, once you've done the A's, make sure you cover them kabisa immediately. So a tip, okay, serious advice is assuming you putting the A's already uko umenunua mabati, okay, buy the iron sheets and the A's, the wood, the A-frames, at the same, buy the mabatis before the A-frames, at the same time. As much as perhaps you're working within your budget, that is something that you need to get those two things pamoja, okay? Because I know if you have a limited budget, what people tend to do is like, and what I advise people to do is like do stage up to where your money or your pockets can afford, okay? And then once you get some other money, you go and add. That is what I advise people. But the only exception is when doing the A-frames, because guys, like for my example, me, I didn't have money for the roof, but I already had the A-frames. I already had the wood, the A's, the carpenter, and then guys, I was broke as hell. I had no, so nimeshaeka, I got in the carpenter, ndio huyo amehepa. As I told you guys, retain your carpenter at all costs. So guys, learn from my mistakes, please. It will save you loads and loads of money, okay? So see, I put them there, the A-frames, and then it's in Voi, remember, a very hot place, kukanyesha, it rained. Once it rained, and then after 2 days it wasn't raining, so the sand yoyo iko moto, mbao hizo sijui they were like this, and then now they were wobbly, okay? So now the carpenter mwenye anakuja, of course they had to warekebishe the purlins again, what align. Oh my goodness, guys, it's like I was made to make the mistakes on your behalf, because it was sad. But guys, do that, and then the last part, the last point, which is the 8th point, is insulation. I've been asked a lot, like what type of insulation do you intend to use, because bado sijaeka. So guys, there are different types of insulation out there, and I would like to do an actual detailed video about that. But let me just tell you what is out there. You can use styrofoam. Unaona, like radio, ama when you buy your electronics, there is that white thing, the one that you can break. In the construction point, in the construction industry, inatumikanga kama expansion joints. Of course, kama unajenga building and then another one kwa avoid or cracks. So anyway, that it's called styrofoam. It's good, it's cheap. And then there is the polyethylene, which is ideally styrofoam, and then it has shiny surfaces on both sides. And guys, there's something about that insulation, which is why I think I'll do another video. And guys, if you're really interested, subscribe and write down, like down below, like guys, do that video. People are doing the insulation so wrong, because people are putting, this is the roof, the mabati, and then they come and put the polyethylene smack dab, like after hapo hivyo. And that is so wrong, because the whole idea of it acting as an insulation is to reflect backlight, okay? So if you do this, where is the reflection happening? My people, my country people. So I'll do a detailed video explaining the right way to do, but that is what you go for. You either use styrofoam, you use polyethylene, which is styrofoam with iso reflective surfaces on both sides. Zingine ziko tu only reflective surface on one side, which still works, guys. Msidanganywe that you need the two. Remember, like the science of reflection of light is what is at play, okay? So again, as I'm saying, you're supposed to leave a gap, okay, between the roof and your insulation. You're supposed to leave like a gap so that kuna hiyo reflection happening, which I'll do a video on. The third thing is kuna hii rope wool that sana sana hutumika for container houses. It's something you can use, but me, I would advise you just go for your insulation, your polyethylene. Let me attach a video so guys, so that you can see. And yes guys, that's it. So the next video I'll be doing, like, because again someone else asked me how do I calculate the roof. And you guys, mwenye aliniuliza how do you calculate like the number of iron sheets that I do, I'll show you. And again, which is why you need a plan, because you can't just tell me. And A-frames come in all sizes and shapes. Because my mabati is 3 meters, okay? Me, my mabati is 6 meters. So if you ask me, like, it's not standard. It's not a standard answer. So I think I have to have some information, but I'll do a video explaining vizuri based on now the A-frame that you have. So guys, if you've reached this point and you haven't subscribed, guys, please subscribe. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. It helps spread this message all over. It helps me go viral. Of course not, but I would really appreciate, and comment down below. Okay, let me tell you something, the comments, they also help with the YouTube. They help YouTube suggest your video to more people because it's beneficial. Okay, so guys, until next time, it's Patricia off grid. Peace out, love you. Okay, bye.